like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my review for Teen Mom OG Season 7, Episode 4. It is currently Monday, technically Tuesday because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but you guys get it. Hope everyone had a great day. Here in Michigan, we had a snowstorm here, so we got about 3 inches or something like that. Really sucked because I hate driving in the snow, but that is Michigan weather, and we just deal with it every year because no one ever moves. So, but I hope everyone else had a great day. Today, we'll have a good day tomorrow as well, because this video will be up sometime Tuesday morning. I'm not sure, because sometimes YouTube takes forever. So yeah, this particular episode, I think, the whole Macy Ryan's part of it is what was, to me, in my opinion, the most interesting, even though I enjoyed seeing Caitlin and Tyler as well. So let's get started into this. I'm going to go Caitlin and Tyler first, then probably Farrah, and who's next? Then Amber, then of course I always do Macy at the end. So we see Tyler and Caitlin are getting ready for their their clothing line website launch. So congrats to them. They were having a whole website launch, and then it kept crashing. They were having like a little countdown, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, to the site was active, but even on their end, the site kept crashing, which can be very, very, very aggravating. And so when the site was supposed to go live, it was like working for some, not for all, and the site kept crashing. Of course, they're both freaking out. They're like, what's going on? We don't know what's happening. And, Kate is like, well, maybe there are just too many people trying to get on the site. Maybe that can be the reason. But again, they're like, they didn't know what was going on. And, Tyler was saying how, maybe I underestimated how many people would actually buy stuff from us, and, how many people would shop. And, the funny part was when he said it, Caitlin was like, you've been doing this since the beginning. I told you so that you should not have been underestimating. And the look he gave her was like, bitch, what you say? Like, it was funny because it was like, she said, I told you so. And I think he just didn't expect her to say that. And she didn't say it like in the mean, rude, I told you so kind of way either. She was like, typing up a tweet. What's on my eye? Oh my God. She was typing up a tweet so that the fans or the shoppers would know, hey, if you're trying to get on the site, it's just slow because there's so many people trying to get on it. But she said it, she's like, you've been underestimating from the beginning. I told you so. And he kind of looked over like, and it was, I swear that I chuckled for a good 2-3 minutes, like, he is so silly. But it's true, you know what I'm saying? For them, they are two famous people, they have millions of followers. So, but I think it's a thing of, even when you have a business or you want to start something out, people will say all the time, oh yeah, I'm going to support you, absolutely, I'm going to buy stuff, and then it doesn't happen. So you don't want to overcompensate based on what people tell you they're going to do, because sometimes that doesn't happen. So he played it safe, but he probably should not have. So we see that like 6 hours later, the site still wasn't up, and they're freaking out. They're trying to talk to the company who does their streaming or whatever, the bandwidth or whatever it's called, to how people get access to the site. And they kind of just didn't have an answer for him, saying how they could get more bandwidth, but even if they got more bandwidth, it might not really work. So of course Tyler was getting frustrated, and so was Kate. And then we see that even the next day, it wasn't working. It was down for like a full day. So we see how Kate kind of went to go ride her horse to kind of relieve her stress. And when she got back home, Tyler says, well, y'all talked to the people. And I was on the phone with her, and she asked, like, well, maybe you guys were hacked, it was all these people. And he was like, no, we're not hacked. He's like, we kind of have a lot of followers on social media. And she was like, oh, but what's a lot? And he was like, well, my wife has about, a little over 3 million. I have about 2.5 million. He was like, they said, oh, okay, now because they have so many followers, that's probably who was going to the site. So the amount of bandwidth, I could be using the wrong word, please forgive me if I am, but the amount of data or whatever for people to, the servers, the server that they use was too small based on how many people were coming to the site, which is why it kept crashing. So they got them a much bigger, server based on the amount of followers they had, because they would need it to make sure that people are able to get on the site, and then everything started working. He's like, but then maybe when the site started working properly, he like instantly they got about a little over 50 orders in. And that's great for a new business. Even when you are someone famous, you never know if someone is going to, support your dream. Like when my t-shirt stuff come out, I'm hoping people gonna support it, but you never know. So I'm a lowball it. Like, I'm not gonna be the one like, give me a big no. Some little, let me sell, let 50 be my total in the beginning, because you just never know. But of course they're happy that it's working out. And they sold out in about a week, which is great. They showed Kate boxing things up, and their boxing was very like the packaging was really, you can tell. One, they put money into it because they had the money to put into it, but they're gonna make a profit because it's basically free advertising too, being on, this TV show too, being on Teen Mom. So, congrats to them. I have not went to the website. I do not, because I don't have any children, so I don't need to buy children's clothes. But great for their success. And they're both, they end up like, because they sold out, they had like, they took a little off day or whatever, and they were on the boat, with their family, with their mom and everything. And they both say how they were shocked at the success, how they didn't think people would, really help them sell out or whatever. And while that could be shocking to people who like watch them, sometimes I think people you don't think people will support you as much as they do. So you're kind of surprised when it actually happens. So I think that's how they felt. And I know exactly how that feels. And that was their whole storyline. Farrah. Farrah's whole storyline today was about her going on a trip. I'm just trying to figure out what international work does Farrah do that she gonna be gone a month. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I don't. I don't like Farrah personally, because of her attitude and how she treats her parents, is why, and how she treats people in general. However, she has a successful store. She has that Frogo or Frocare, whatever it is, ice cream stuff. She has that. So she is smart business wise. I just don't like her. You know what I'm saying? And I just keep trying to figure out where is she going. Like, they never say like where she's going and what she's going to do. She's just taking an international trip, and she'll be gone for a month. And I'm like, well, is she over there selling vagina? Like, what is she doing over there that she's gonna be gone for a month? And she's talking about how her dad and her dad's girlfriend, her dad and his girlfriend is going to keep Sophia while she's gone. She like has all these rules, which is not even really many rules. Like, Sophia, don't play hide and seek. Don't open the door for strangers. Regular kid stuff, But she did tell Michael how she did not want them to contact Deborah and have Deborah kind of involved with looking after Sophia while she's gone, because her and her mom aren't talking right now. And that was basically it. We see that she only has one suitcase because she had to steal the other suitcase from Sophia. And for a person who travels as much as she says she does, I don't see why she only has one suitcase. And I also could not be stuffed in my father's house with my daughter. I mean, that house looks like a hoarder's dream. Like, it's just stuff everywhere. And it's because there's too many people in the house. I mean, I'm just saying, I need my own space. Like, I can't I'm too old for that. I just can't. I just can't. And, that basically what the whole episode was. There's this little scene where Deborah is saying how, she misses Sophia, and that she's aware that Farrah's going out of town, for a little while, but that Michael will be keeping Sophia, and she misses her, and it's sad. There's another scene where before she goes out of town, her dad, the dad's girlfriend, and Sophia go out to eat, and she's just saying how, You know, she's grateful to be able to spend time with her dad and live there, but how it's sad that she can't like live with her mom. But I'm like, the reason you can't is because you and your mom are both difficult and y'all both can't compromise. You know, as bad as Farrah is, Deborah has her quirks too. That makes them bump heads. It's just Farrah is 100 times worse than Deborah. Like if Deborah is 100 worse, Farrah is 100 times 100 worse. And they just need to get over it. I mean, they all too old to be acting like that. And the thing is, the only person who's gonna lose out on this in the situation is Sophia because she's missing out. She's missing out on time with her grandmother. And anyone can clearly see how close Sophia is with her grandmother and how much Deborah loves Sophia. So is Sarah, I feel like almost is selfish a little bit. But at the same time, if she feels her daughter is safer with her father as a mother, that's her choice. You know what I'm saying? To make that decision. And we can't say that she shouldn't do that. I just don't care for her too much. Until she can change her attitude, you know, she just irks my nerve, you know, but I can always give her the benefit of the doubt to say she does love her daughter. You know, she really, really, really does. It was cute seeing Sophia write her mama, "I love you, mom" note and hide it in her bag. So again, she's a good mom. She cusses and fusses in front of her daughter, but it is what it is. And hopefully that doesn't scar her for earlier, but me for later. But, you know, that's all for Sarah. Farrah's story was she going on an international trip and we don't know where she going. So it was what it was. Amber's was pretty easy as well. You know, we hear that her and Matt, we know how Matt is in a hotel, but they're gonna go to this. What she said, they're going to a show for couples counseling. They was going to marriage boot camp. We all know that now, and that's the hard part about Amber's story. We kind of all know how it played out. We all know that they was supposed to go on marriage boot camp. We all know they broke up in marriage boot camp. We know that Farrah started dating a guy who worked on the marriage boot camp set. We know that Matt has now married someone else, and we know Amber is pregnant. So for me, watching their relationship play out, it doesn't matter because we know how it plays out because it played out in real life. So it's like, oh my God, they went to couples counseling. How did it go? They broke up. Oh my God, you know, he's in the hotel. Did he come back home? No, he didn't. You know, it's that kind of stuff where you're like, her story almost doesn't matter because we already know what happened. Like, we don't know what happens with Kate we didn't know what happened with Kate and the website and all that stuff and how that stuff happened. We don't know about Farrah going on the damn international trip or whatever. And even with Macy, we don't know what happened with that particular story. But with Amber, nothing is shocking. We know her and Matt broke up. So now that they have announced she is broken up with, let me not, well, y'all watch, y'all know what it is. You know, now that they were supposed to go to marriage boot camp, you know, she was saying how, talking to her mom while she was getting her lashes done, how, you know, so much is going on and she don't know what to do, and, you know, but she doesn't want to talk shit about him all the time because she still loves him. But they not together no more, so none of that matters. You know, she did say that currently the bad outweighs the good. Okay, we know that's why y'all acting together now. What else? We see, you know, Amber and Christina and Leah having like a little fun time together before Amber goes to marriage boot camp. It was cute, you know, seeing them like make like love notes basically to each other and pass them around and read them to each other. You know, even seeing Leah saying, "Mom, you know, I miss hanging out with you and just you would come get me. We'd go to like the park and stuff and hang out and eat ice cream. I miss doing that. It was so cute." And even seeing Amber say, "You know, we're gonna start doing that again." I feel like everything with her and Matt interfered with that, and she allowed, in one way or another, her relationship to not get in between her and Leah, but because she was having issues with Matt, Leah can't come over because she's having issues with her boyfriend. I feel like at the end of the day, we know how much you love your daughter, so whatever person in your life is preventing you from being with your daughter don't need to be there. And I'm happy that he is no longer there, so it is what it is. You know, they're talking to Gary and Christina, and someone else was in there too. I don't know who the person was, but Gary was saying how he did not think that Amber and Matt would work out at marriage boot camp, and how, you know, she had been telling him that she was already seeing other people or talking to other people. You know, how she brought up how she was meeting people on Twitter and how some guy was like Twitter verified. And Matt said, not Matt, damn it. Gary said, well, I don't even know what that means. And I was like, well, what does it mean? Like, does the person who's Twitter verified, like, I mean, does that mean they're not a murderer? Does that mean they have money? Like, I don't know what that means either. I really, really don't. And then Christina was like, I don't think a person being, verified on Twitter should be the criteria of your soulmate. And I completely agree. She also said, like, maybe Twitter isn't even a place to be looking to date someone. I could, I agree, but I don't agree solely because you can't pick and choose where you meet someone from. Because my thing is, if I meet the man of my dreams online or in person, he is, as long as he's a real person, it shouldn't matter what we met. I mean, you shouldn't meet him. I mean, you shouldn't meet at like a porn convention. Just, I mean, I don't know. I just think I'm thinking she meant more of Amber shouldn't be focusing on finding a boyfriend on Twitter than saying Twitter isn't a place to meet someone. Because you can meet people on Twitter because it's social media. It is what it is. But, she does say, like, maybe she should focus on herself and not really think about dating right now. And I completely agree. Amber still needs time to figure out Amber. And it's kind of weird knowing that she went from being with Matt to being with this guy who she's with now, and now she's pregnant by him. You had no time in between the middle to figure out yourself and figure out what went wrong and why you even allowed Matt to be in your life for 3 years when you knew it wasn't good. So you've already brought in somebody else. Like, let's hope this guy is a good guy. Let's hope that this guy isn't just a rebound guy and you ended up getting knocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wanted to be someone's forever, but when someone moves so quickly, you like, is it real? You just wish the best for that person. We all wish the best for Amber. She gets back from marriage boot camp and we see they had broken up for good. She's like, I broke up with him at the show. It was what it was. I told him he was a bitch. I was done. At first he didn't believe me, but it's very, very true. I've told Leah, I've told Gary that he will not be back. We're not together. I'm single and I'm happy now. I can do what I want, hang out with who I want, have guys text me what I want. I'm looking like, again, you too consumed with who you can talk to as far as a dude. Get back with your daughter. Okay? Let that be your companion for the time being. Just spend some time with her before you even think. But hey, what I'm saying don't make no damn difference because her actually pregnant with a boyfriend. So, that part doesn't matter. The last part. Macy. So, we see Macy saying how she sent a letter to Ryan from her lawyer, basically for a new visitation agreement. And she let Ryan know, to be expecting this letter from my lawyer with what you need to do in order to see Bentley. She's like, because she hasn't talked to him or they haven't interacted basically since the whole fight on Father's Day. And I think her trying to set up visitations through her lawyer is smart. Simply because they have a volatile relationship right now where Ryan feels like, I am not on drugs anymore. I should be able to see my son. And Macy feels like, you were on drugs and we saw you on drugs. My voice is going out. I'm sorry. You were on drugs and we saw you on drugs. And it's not as easy for you to see your son out. I need you to do some things first. And she, in all her rights, she has the right to do that because it's for the protection of their son. I would hope if the roles were reversed and Macy was on drugs, that Ryan would do the same thing to protect Bentley. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's even to think of, because he's the father, let's be harder on him. No, he's the absentee parent who's on drugs. Okay? So, we then see Ryan talking to one of his friends who's asking him, like, how he's doing. And he's like, I'm doing good, just dealing with the withdrawals, which sometimes gets bad. But, overall, I'm handling it. And looking at him, sometimes I look at him, I'm looking like, that's how he used to look when he was high. But I'm like, but was that how he actually looked when he wasn't high and he wanted to get high? That's what I kept thinking about. So, he has has he seen Bentley? He's like, no, I saw him, once at the, on Father's Day. Some things happened, but I haven't seen him since then. I've only seen him at his baseball games. And, he's like, but Macy said that she's going to send me a letter, but I don't know if the letter is real. I don't know if she wrote it up herself. Mackenzie, old punk ass, come out. Yeah, she's a punk ass this week. Last week she was a monkey ass. This week she's a punk ass. So, she's laughing. I can't stand a woman who can clearly see the father of his child is not living up to the best of his ability. And because she chose him, she chooses to allow him to be an unfit parent. She allows him to think that he is being wronged in many ways and that the issue is the child's mother. And does that happen in life for people? Does some baby mamas do things in spite, just to spite the father? Absolutely. That ain't what Macy doing at all. You know what I'm saying? And Mackenzie, oh my gosh, she makes my blood boil that she allows Ryan to play victim. She actually engages him and enables him to be, oh my God, it makes it so unfair. I just can't believe it. And it just pisses me off. He says how Macy hasn't helped me, once in any way since Bentley was born. Bitch, what? He said that, and I literally almost just wanted to throw my phone at the television to punch him in the head with my phone. You gonna say the mother of your child hasn't helped you at all since y'all had your son, but she take care of him daily. She is a full-time mother, and she's a mother of 3. And for the most part, Bentley seems to be a well-rounded little kid. Like, he seems happy. He doesn't seem like he wants to punch anyone in the face. You know what I'm saying? How dare your drug-addicted ass say that your baby's mother has never done anything to help you since Bentley has been born? It's not her job to help you do anything. You are the father. It's your job to be there for your son in every which way possible. And when the mother is not helping you do something, it's because she don't have to. She has to help Bentley. You know what to help you? Jesus. Jesus has to help you. Or your mama, or your daddy, or your wife. But Macy is not obligated to help you do shit. You could have went and got the visitation for Bentley before you was on drugs, okay? You could have done that a long time ago. You didn't do that. Why? Because you was getting high and you enjoyed not being a full-time parent. You enjoyed not having those responsibilities. So for you to open up your mouth and say that someone who has helped you, because the way that she helped you, she raised your son in spite of the bullshit that you spew out your mouth to her. I was like, I can't believe he said it, and Mackenzie's old stupid ass sat there next to him as if what he said was fact. I'm looking like, these 2 monkeys is just gonna piss me off. I was just like, how, like, the audacity. She hasn't helped me at all since Bentley been born. What the hell did you want her to do? Build you a boat, make you ride the boat yourself, give you the paddles and push you around America? No. She ain't the captain. I was just like, why would he say? I mean, I personally cannot wait until the reunion thing, because if Dr. Drew does not address these things, his ass needs to be fired, because the things that Mackenzie and Ryan have said and the way they have tried to blame Macy is unbelievable. And I'm not saying Macy's perfect, not at all. I know that she probably has her quirks and stuff that we don't see on TV. However, what I know for a fact is no one has ever came at Macy for being a bad parent, and that includes Ryan's own parents. Okay? I'm sorry I got you so upset. I was so pissed off when it happened. So, it made me mad too after he said that, because Mackenzie then said, it makes it hard for us. Bitch, what? Oh my God. What's hard for you, Mackenzie? What's hard? You know what should be hard for you, Mackenzie? Having a husband who's addicted to drugs. That should be what's hard for you. Because my thing is, y'all should be focused on Ryan's sobriety. That should be your main focus. Y'all spend so much time sitting around talking as if Macy has kidnapped Bentley and just keeps him away for no apparent reason. And my thing is this: if Macy was so unfair and not letting him see Bentley, he could have already went to court to give visitations. Why hasn't he done that? Because he doesn't want to be a full-time parent. And now because he's supposed to be sober, he has a wife, now he wants to be a parent. But that's all well and good. But the first thing you have to do is get yourself together and stop blaming Macy. You and Mackenzie both need to have several seats on the Shut the Fuck Up Stadium bus tour of America, because y'all are the two whiniest people against the child's mother for no reason. None at all. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, it made me so mad. So the next thing that we see from there is, Macy's talking to her friend, and she's basically just saying how, she hasn't really talked to Ryan. It's been more like texting, more than anything else. How she just basically told him, look, you're going to get a letter from the lawyer. And, what you have to do is I need you to take a drug test. I'll pay for the drug test. And as long as you pass the drug test, when you want to see Bentley, you can come get him for a couple hours. But it's only if you pass the drug test. Every time you see him, come get him, you would have to take a drug test. In my personal opinion, for a person who was fresh out of rehab, that is normal. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know if that person is sober or not, or if they're, of clear mind, and you're like, I don't want you with my child when you're high. It's that simple. So because of that reason, if you want to see him, fine. Take the drug test, pass the drug test, and you can see him. Build up my trust in you, and then we won't have to do this. But Ryan don't want to do that. At all. And she says how, Bentley, we see how Bentley is basically asking to see, go over there to see his grandparents, to see his father, and she has to tell him no because Ryan won't take a drug test. So for me, I think it's kind of his fault. We then see the producers talking to Ryan's parents. Now this moment, okay. So, I'm going to be looking out a little bit. So, they say how they were happy he went to rehab, because it relieved them of having to worry about what was going to happen to him if someone was going to call him and say, he dead or something like that. They say how he is better now. His father says, like, when I call him or he calls me and we're on the phone talking, he's actually speaking coherently. I can actually understand what he's saying, because before he was too high. The whole conversations, the dad says, we knew something was up. We knew something was wrong, meaning they knew he was on drugs. He says, but however, whenever they approached him about it, he said either one of two things would happen. It would be a big argument, or he would just up and leave and be gone, which made them probably just stop talking about it. So this is my thing with that. Then why did y'all allow Mackenzie to blame Macy? Why do y'all keep making it seem as if Macy is wrong for not letting Ryan see him right now? Y'all knew he had a problem. Y'all knew he had a problem so much that y'all was scared that y'all son was going to die from his drugs. So my thing is, if y'all were that worried about your son, think about how worried Macy was for her own son. Because what if Ryan was driving in the car high with Bentley in the car, and Bentley was in the back seat, and he was not able to keep shaking and tapping Ryan to wake him up? The only reason why Ryan was not sleeping in that car fully was because Mackenzie kept looking at him, seeing him sleep, and she kept nudging him awake. If he was in the car driving high on them damn drugs, he would have killed himself or hurt himself or killed or hurt Bentley. So why his parents are saying, or Mackenzie was saying, why would Macy bring it up? Because he had a problem and y'all couldn't deal with it. So she did what she had to do. She stopped hiding it. She stopped hiding it to protect her son. Because then at that point, he had no choice but to get into rehab. He could have not went to rehab, but then he really would not have been able to see Bentley. So, they then say how they have learned what his triggers are. That before they did not know what his triggers were. And his triggers are Bentley and his mom. If his mom is upset, it's a trigger. And if someone tries to use Bentley in whatever way, it's a trigger. And my thing is, trigger can be one of two things. Some people can use a trigger as an excuse to do something. Oh my God, I saw my mom crying, so I went and got high. Oh my God, Macy won't let me see Bentley, so I went and got high. I don't feel like I just can't deal with it. His father does say, he knows that, Ryan loves Bentley. He admits he has not been there for Bentley as much as he should have. He admits that out of his own mouth. His own father says that. He says, but, I know he loves Bentley. And he was like, Ryan is all that we have. And we love him now. We'll love him forever. Which is all fine and good. But he needs help. Point blank, period. We then see Ryan calling a lawyer, and Mackenzie sitting on the phone. He's calling a lawyer. The lawyer, he's saying like, I have some questions on, visitations or custody with my son, or whatever. The lawyer says, okay, well, why is the mom not letting you see him? And he said, well, since I came back from rehab, she hasn't let me see him. And the lawyer basically says, um, what was your drug of choice? And he said heroin. When he said heroin, I thought he was on like prescription pain pills, like Oxy or whatever like that. Heroin is a very, heroin is tough. Okay, and when he said, I was like, so he was spending 10,000 a week on heroin, getting high 3 times on heroin. Oh my god! I was shocked, honestly, because I did not know what drug it was. Let me be honest and say that I did not know what drug it was. And it was crazy. So he then asked the lawyer, like, is it legal for her to not let me see him? And then the lawyer said, well, basically what she's doing, it is legal. It's just rotten. It's not illegal, but it's just a mean thing to do. He says, and I'm pretty sure she's going to use your drug habit as an excuse to keep you away from him. And my thing is, my child's father being on drugs is not an excuse. But I also realized that this lawyer has no idea the things that we've seen him high driving, almost could have killed himself. So he then lies and says, like, what, she won't return my calls and she won't return my text, she won't talk to me. Which is not true, because she did talk to you. She told you that you just have to pass the drug test. You just keep ignoring that whole part. So the lawyer then says, well, the judge would basically never consider giving you any kind of visitation if you can't consistently pass a drug test. And he said, could you pass a drug test? And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, but it would be contingent on you continually passing that drug test, because the judge is not going to give you anything if you are struggling with an addiction. You're struggling to stay clean during testing, getting tested or whatever. And my thing is, and then the episode kind of went off with him saying that, because Ryan didn't sound confident in saying that he was clean. He didn't sound confident in saying that he can continuously pass the drug test. And when he said that his drug of choice was heroin, Mackenzie's face looked like she was mad that piece of information would not be out to the public. Because again, no one, as far as I knew which drug he was on. Again, as I said, I thought he was popping pills. I did not think it was heroin. Like, I don't know anyone who does heroin. I've just seen what it's done to people via, documentaries. And this is me looking at the stuff, because I do different stuff at work. But I was like, he was a heroin addict. And heroin is a hard addiction to kick. Like, sometimes it takes some time to kick it. So you absolutely need to take drugs. Every time you see my son, you would need to take a drug test. And so, in closing, I'm going to say this. Ryan, get off your high horse. Take the drug test. Because if you are truly, honestly wanting to be a father to Bentley, you can do the bare minimum and stay clean. And that's all I have to say about that. So, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Until next time, people. Peace.